Welcome to another round of Highly Questionable. What's good, Bo?
Tom Brady talking like a crazy person.
Dale, papi.
Are the Cavaliers playing LeBron too much?
Of course is the answer to this question. He leads the league in minutes like Kyle Lowry does. They won last night. I loved what he said before the game. As long as I am in the lineup, we have a chance, which couldn't have felt very good to Kevin Love. But regardless, we ask this question every year. He plays way too many minutes, has for too many years. But at the end of Game 7 last year, who was that chasing down Andre Iguodala because he wasn't tired at all and he was fresher than Andre Iguodala? The guy can do it unlike anybody probably in the history of the sport.
But that doesn't mean you need to keep leaning on him in this way. It's hard not to feel uncomfortable when you hear Ty Lue say, when you got a machine like this, you ride him if you had the machine like that too. The dude's not a machine, even if he thinks that he's a machine. I think the Cavs could lose every game while Kevin Love is out and still wind up in the playoffs and still win the East. What are you really getting from these extra minutes?
That's right. Just keep playing him to death. Run him into the ground. Don't give him a break in the bench, No. That's it. Play him 48 minutes a game, That's it.
Ty Lue gonna play LeBron in the All-Star game.
My father wants the NBA to add minutes to the game and have LeBron play those too.
Do you believe, Floyd, that he's nowhere near a deal to fight Conor McGregor?
All right, Floyd Mayweather has said that they are not near a deal for this fight that should not happen in the first place, although Stephen A. Smith said he talked to Floyd, and Floyd made it seem like that fight was actually close. Yeah, Floyd's probably saying that the fight isn't close. Here's something to consider, though. Remember Linsanity 5 years ago around this time where Floyd jumped in out of nowhere and said that Jeremy Lin got all that attention because he was Asian? Floyd seems to understand that at this time in the sporting calendar, there's nothing to talk about, so he may as well give us something.
But he did tell Stephen A. Smith, and I do believe Stephen A. Smith on this. Please stop doing that. He's not going to stop doing that. He did tell Stephen A. Smith that he was close to a deal, that it was very, very close. And I think what happened here is Conor McGregor's under contract with the UFC. He can't just be making deals like this. Dana White's going to be making a mess for him. And so what I think happened here is Floyd Mayweather said something before Floyd Mayweather should be saying something, because there are a lot of people who want to be cashing in on this, not just Floyd and Conor.
Is Jim Harbaugh hiring the parent of a top recruit shady or smart?
It is both of these things. I don't have to choose between these things. It's both of these things. He's gaming the system because he can, because you can pay coaches whatever you want. You can get coaches of recruits. And to be fair, in this instance, it's a recruit in 2019, very important position at quarterback, and his father is a decorated coach. But Jim Harbaugh has also done this while at Stanford. He made a mother the head of his player development because he wanted a transfer. If you can game the system this way, I don't know how much you can blame the guy for gaming the injustice.
Also of note, there's a proposal for a rule that kind of cuts into this and puts like a 2-year window between when a coach and a player were together if you're going to hire him, and this seems to be done with that in mind. Here's the thing about it, though, with Harbaugh. This isn't anything new. Not that it's not new for Harbaugh. You remember Ed Manning getting hired by Larry Brown so that Danny Manning would go to Kansas? What was that, 1984? This whole structure is set up so that everybody can get paid except the players. Because if you think about it, whatever they pay this coach, they could easily give the kid. But no. We'll keep him broke, even if it means giving money to his pops.
To Bomani's point, Michigan has 3 guys on its staff not named Jim Harbaugh making $1 million for coaching, including a passing coordinator. This team is going to Rome for some of its practices, but this is as close as you can get to paying the player without paying the player. Just don't let Reggie Bush's family cash in at all.
Man, I wish Cecil Newton would have got a job with Auburn. That would have changed everything.
That's right. Cecil Newton was trying to get this deal before they started giving out these deals.
Open your wallet. Open your wallet. Pay the players. 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 Open your wallet.
We're as bad as chanting as Bill Belichick is.
But the point, though, I think we can make this catch all.
How much is in your wallet right now, Bobby? Open your wallet and let's see how much is in your wallet. Let's see. How much?
I'm broke.
Okay, very good. He's not even going to show us his wallet.
You're what?
Does Tom Brady really have the secret to extending NFL players' careers?
All right, Peter King went to Montana to hang out with Tom Brady. And Tom Brady is a crazy person. I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way, but that single-focused sort of maniacal dedication to his job, Tom Brady is one of those guys. And he thinks that he can play into his mid-40s. He says it's easier to play quarterback than ever because you've got more information. He says he knows it all anyway, and he's got all these physical tricks. Told Peter King to feel how malleable his muscles were. And I mean, I hear what you're saying right now. Yeah, you can extend your career. You play longer than most guys, but that's still big dudes that are going to be knocking the hell out of you. And there's a whole bunch of stuff they ain't made of exercise to save you from.
I don't want to recklessly speculate here, but we've mentioned before that Tom Brady hangs out with a doctor who's not a doctor a lot. And Tom Brady also doesn't seem to age and was aging for a while, and now he's not aging anymore. And usually when there's this kind of suspicious stuff, we sniff around and we ask a lot of questions. The Patriots are also known cheaters by reputation, but if Tom Brady were actually caught cheating at a fountain of youth, do you realize how surprised, betrayed, and naive we would suddenly be about this, even though there's a lot of stuff around him that's like, how does he not age?
But that's the thing, though. You say usually we sniff. No, we don't sniff, and then something happens, and then we say, damn, should have sniffed. But it feels really uncomfortable to say that we should sniff around him because we really don't have much.
But we just did it.
No, you did, actually.
You jumped in. You were quick to jump in. You were quick to jump in right there with me.
No. I showed up today with the express thought. I ain't going to say that stuff about the doctor. Dan will probably do it.
Does this deserve a 10-game suspension?
We are so unfair to hockey. The only time hockey makes the show is when we're showing a fight. The only time it makes the show this high in the show is when you're kind of fighting with a referee. What do we have here?
It's face-off. Now, you might have missed it, but here we go. That's Vermette right there. Hit the ref in the leg with the stick.
Man, that's a 10-game suspension. Apparently, that's always what's likely, Bomani, for referee abuse. Did that look like referee abuse to you? Does it have to be absolute? If you touch a referee, you're getting 10 games.
With a stick? What do you mean? Yes, this is a no-brainer here. You can't have any level of wiggle room on how you touch the official with a stick. On some things, you have to have that zero tolerance policy. It's amazing, though. People understand the function of those things until they actually happen. Then it's like, well, wait a minute. He ain't hit him with a stick that hard. It's a stick.
That's not the way you go after a ref with a stick. This is the way you got to do it.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's it.
One of those Russian.
Yeah, there you have it.
Yeah, that's 10. That's also 10 games.
We find it so funny, by the way, when people do this stuff in this sport. What I would recommend that they remember, in that sport, you hit them with a stick, maybe nothing happens. In some sports, the referee is ready for you with his two friends, click and clack. Go ahead and put my man up there with the rascal.
We always do that.
Yeah. Hit that dude with a stick and let me know how that works out. They got stand your ground rules in that country? Might be bad news.
He will pistol whip you.
You hope.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
I'd been through so much in my life that he'd been telling me the type of guy that he was since I met him. And probably about until the month before I came home, and I did 6.5 years, 6 years, 4 months, and 5 days. I didn't believe him. I was like, you're going to leave eventually. You'll get tired of it. And he was like, I'm never going to leave you.
Joining us at the beach today is Remy Ma.
New album with Fat Joe, Plata o Plomo, releases Friday. Let's talk to her. Anywhere along the path, I allow you to go back and change one thing, do one thing differently. What one thing would you like to do differently?
If it was in my control, I would just, keep drugs away from, my parents. I feel like, prior to, the whole crack epidemic, as they like to call it, in the 80s, my life was kind of great. My mom worked at the World Trade Center. My stepdad, he owned his own video rental places, like before Blockbuster and all of those type places. He had his own video rental. We were like the only kids who had like VCRs and microwaves and carpeting in the house, and it was just like one day, all of that was just gone, and I single-handedly blame it on, the wave of drugs and crime that swept through the neighborhood.
Did you find forgiveness for them? Were you able to put aside anger?
It took some time. It definitely took some time, especially with my mom. because I just feel like, as a mother, you're supposed to take care of your children. I used to blame a lot of things that I went through and that I experienced on my mom, but it took me to become an adult when I was in my later 20s to realize that, she was placed in a position that she really couldn't control. She was born into poverty, and she was born in the red. Like, that's how I call it. You're born in the red. You're already born at a disadvantage. So, she really didn't have much to offer me anyway. And we're good now. She's an amazing mom. She's at my house now. And, it took years, though. Years, because when I was going through that, you feel like your parents are supposed to make sure you're okay. And I didn't have that. And as far as, like, the same thing with my dad, well, he's really my stepfather. We fell out as well. And I didn't speak to him for, like, close to 20 years. Because I was angry. I was a kid. I was like, he abandoned us. He left. And I just didn't speak to him until recently when I got married last year, and I invited him to my wedding.
Did anything good come from your prison experience? Any lessons? Anything that changed you?
The person that you're talking to now, I'm a different person. I think differently. I move differently. I have different outlook on the world, and it's not. I don't think it's because the prison system is such a great rehabilitation and correctional system, because it's not. It's actually designed in every way possible to break you down to the least common denominator. But I used that time to just look back. How did I end up here? Because it was a point where if you would ask me, do you think you might end up in prison one day or something, I'd be like, absolutely. Like, I'm out here on these streets, I'm doing, different things to survive. Absolutely. But once I had made it to where I was Grammy nominated, I did not think that was even a possibility anymore. But, I had time to think about decisions that I made, the people that I had around me. And a big source of the problem is that, like, I wasn't treating my career and my job as an artist as a business. If you worked in an office building, you're not going to take your 20 homegirls or homeboys from, your neighborhood to go hang out in the coffee room, So I had time to think about a lot of things and just grow up. And that's where I grew up. I grew up in prison. I had no choice. I didn't have control over when I ate, when I slept, when I saw my husband, my son, when I spoke to my family, anything. And, it makes you look at life differently. I never, ever want to be in a situation where I'm that powerless. Even when I was homeless, I never felt as bad as I did when I was in prison, because I still had the opportunity to try to do things to change my situation. There was nothing that I could do at all to change it. I just had to literally sit through it until they decided, all right, you can go home now.
What was the hardest day in prison? Was it the first day or was it another day?
I would say not necessarily the first day, because the first day you're still like, this is crazy. I can't believe this is happening. Like, you're literally in shock. Like, I just went from, my house in Jersey where I have my pool and all these things going on, my car's outside, to this room that's the size of one of my, utility closets. So you're in shock the first day. I would say holidays. And not necessarily, Christmas and New Year's, the ones that you would think, but my son's birthday, my son's graduation from elementary school, his graduation from junior high school, Mommy Muffin Day, when he would call me, hey, everyone's moms is coming, they have to make muffins. And my mom, his grandmother, had to go instead. Things like that. My anniversary. I had to get married to my husband via telephone. It's days like that probably were the hardest days for me.
Well, if the system was designed to break you down, how did you manage to avoid that?
I had a really great support team in my husband. My husband, Papoose, was amazing. Like, literally, the first year that I was there, he came to visit me every single day. The first year that I was there, he kept a phone on where I could call. If he actually, like, it was a point where you could only have a certain amount of calls a month. He would get phones turned on at his friend's house, at his mom's house, like different phones, so I could call whenever I needed to call. He kept me abreast with everything that was going on. Like, when I went to prison, there was no Twitter, there was no Instagram. I never had an iPhone. So, he would bring me pictures. He would let me listen to things over the phone just to keep me in tune with what was going on. Just tell me, like, it's not the end of the world. You are going to be okay. Because most people who are there, everyone abandons them. When you go to prison, like, it's easy to stick it out for a couple of months. Once the year 1, year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years go by, your friends forget that you're their friend. Any boyfriends or girlfriend you had, they're usually gone. Your family members, they have lives, they have jobs. They may even have, like in my case, children of yours that they have to take care of to where they really can't attend to you. And people get forgotten and lost in the system. And then they start doing things to cope, taking, mental medication or, just hurting themselves and things like that because it's such a dark place.
You mentioned Papoose. Did you ever think anybody would love you as much as he does? Because the people I know who watch that TV show can't believe, like, they want somebody to love them as much as he does.
Every day for a year. That's amazing.
He's definitely an exceptional guy. He's amazing. And the crazy thing, and it's actually sad if you really think about it, I'd been through so much in my life that he'd been telling me the type of guy that he was since I met him. And probably about until the month before I came home, and I did 6.5 years, 6 years, 4 months, and 5 days. I didn't believe him. I was like, you're going to leave eventually. You'll get tired of it. And he was like, I'm never going to leave you. I'm here for you. Whatever you need me to do, as long as you're here, I live here. And, because I'd been through so much and been disappointed and abandoned by so many people throughout my life, it was hard for me to even take in or conceive that somebody from the same place where I came from could even care that much about someone else. You understand? We don't pay admission and the bouncers don't check us.
And we walk around the metal detectors.
And there really ain't a need for a VIP section.
In the middle of the dance floor, reckless, check it.
Said he, like my necklace, started relaxing.
Now, that's what the hell I call a chain reaction. The old in burger from Applebee's. Do you question Stephen A. Strange?
Stephen A. Smith, remember, he played at Winston-Salem State under the legendary Clarence Big House Gaines. He's here shooting baskets with James Harden. Is that what this is?
Not well.
Hold on. I want to see it. I mean, to be fair to him, he got on dress shoes. It's hard to shoot in dress shoes.
Are those dress shoes?
Oh, they're not actually. Okay, so he got a long sleeve shirt on. Okay, you got the rim. Hey, man, 23, that's a long way away.
I don't think people realize while watching the NBA, because they make it look so easy, how far that actually is. That is not an easy shot, but I can't defend Stephen A. as a college basketball player making none of those shots.
I was actually going to say Stephen A. owes me a favor because I don't think I've ever been that kind to anybody who shot an air ball before.
Still better than Drake.
Oh, yeah. Remember that?
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, that is true.
I mean, Drake went full fantasy camp with it, too.
Yeah.
He put on the get up.
Spinning the ball.
Oh.
That's a
Yeah,
college
let me get that back.
Yeah, that's college, by the way.
It's also of note, by the way, the guy who wants a second shot when he missed the first one never makes the second shot, right? He never does.
Time to play the game that celebrated Valentine's Day the right way last night. See? Or no?
What happened to you there? You're tired from last night? You tell us what to watch on TV tonight. We tell you if we're intrigued or not.
With your mom.
On Comcast Bay Area, Kings and Warriors.
Sure, a lot of scoring. You want to watch scoring? Oh, the Warriors didn't score that much the other day against the Nuggets. Got their heads caved in by the Nuggets. Let's check in with JaVale McGee and Steph Curry.
Can't beat them. Yeah, they're going to have a lead.
During that game.
Oh.
There it is. That is teamwork and gelling. There it is, right off the side of JaVale's face. There are a bunch of faces that look like they were hit in the face. Bomani, are you intrigued?
And the worst part about this is 90% of the people are watching that just laughing at JaVale McGee as opposed to the dude who threw a pass that hit him in the head from 2 feet away.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, okay, so, JaVale had enough game, but I'm telling you, tonight against the King, he's going to have a hell of a game. Nobody's going to be laughing at him after the game. He's going to go against Boogie Cousin and Matt Burns, and I'm telling you something, it's going to be a hell of a game. That's all I got to tell you.
Does JaVale McGee still have that patch of hair in the back of his head? If so, somebody will be laughing at him after the game, and that somebody will be me.
Who is Matt Burns?
On ESPN 2, number 12 Duke and number 14 UVA.
No, because I don't like UVA. They've been playing the same style of basketball for 10 years. But let's check in with Tatum. Bomani likes Tatum.
Speaks in more ball screen situations, make him guard. Tatum slamming it home for the Blue Devils.
Yikes.
Charge. Bomani, are you intrigued?
Trying to think of two schools with alumni bases on either side that I could possibly like less.
Really? Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, UVA has been getting ready for this game for a long time. They are ready. They're going to be facing Duke at home. I'm telling you something. It's going to be the game of the year. You know, UVA is going to come through and it's going to lead Duke up.
Yeah. Wait till you see. You're going to get lighted up.
In Fort Wayne, Indiana, North Dakota State and IPFW.
What is IPFW?
They beat Indiana this year.
Indiana, Purdue, and a Fort Wayne. It's 3 different schools, all a jambalaya of one. What do we have here from a previous game?
Ability there as he stayed in front of Roscoe off the ball screen.
Boy, the three-point line has just not been caught.
Oh, that would have been so great at the other end of the court, Bomani. Instead, it's an unmitigated disaster.
It's a 2-point shot. I hope the officials don't go back and look at it.
Oh, that's
again.
interesting. You got to review that. Is that a 3 or a 2? Bomani, are you intrigued?
Not especially, but whenever I see a matchup between two teams like that, I always want to ask the guys on the basketball team, so who else did you get an offer from? How did you wind up here?
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Are you kidding me? See, I'm very intrigued. North Dakota State, they have been practicing that play for a long time. They just got it in the wrong basket. But tonight they're going to do it in their own basket. They're going to surprise everybody. You know, it's going to be an eye-opening for everybody, you know, in that court. Are you kidding me? Tonight it's going to be the night of surprises.
They did do it in their own basket. You want them to do it in the other basket.
Oh, that was in their own basket?
Yeah.
The notion of what your own basket means is kind of elusive.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Gracias. See you mañana.
I think that is not appropriate for the workplace. You know that what you're doing on TV, you're getting paid.
Like
No,
you
no.
don't like what I'm looking